Today I'm going to do a review on one of the sleekest, versatile, affordable all-aluminum Ultrabooks of 2020. It's the HUAWEI Matebook D15, equipped with a near bezel-less IPS display, a Ryzen 5 processor, Vega 8 graphics, 8GB of DDR4 RAM, and a beautiful and thin all-aluminum body. The Matebook D15 is a great overall laptop for daily use. Not to mention, it has a number of cool new features that I wish other laptop manufacturers would take note of. This includes HUAWEI sharing ecosystem, an ingenious webcam design, a fingerprint scanner embedded on the power button, and power bank compatibility. The laptop has enough power for casual gaming. We'll run through some tests as well. So without further ado, here's the first of many tech reviews from Tech Builder. Let's start first with the pop-up webcam. It's placed underneath between the F6 and F7 buttons. Now, one of the cool features of this laptop is its webcam. Now, even I used a piece of tape to cover my other laptop's webcam for privacy purposes. Now, HUAWEI made a really cool fix by putting the webcam on the chiclet keyboard so you can close it whenever you want to prevent hackers from, spying on you. The audio from the clip was in fact recorded using the laptop's internal mic. Placing the mic at the very front of the laptop makes a whole lot of a difference. One of my favorite things about this laptop is that the fingerprint scanner is embedded on the power button. The moment you tap on that button, the fingerprint scanner gathers data and logs you in automatically. If it doesn't recognize your fingerprint data, it brings you back to the good old password login. Now here's the cool thing. If you own a HUAWEI phone like this Nova 5T, the laptop is equipped with an NFC chip. The moment you take a picture or a video, then open it from your phone's gallery, tapping your phone on this side of the laptop would automatically send it to your laptop's desktop. There are some not so new features that I also played around with. You could mirror your phone's display to your laptop. It's not that useful because hey, just watch YouTube directly from your laptop. But if you love to play games on your phone, you can use this to mirror your gameplay on your desktop. So I was just playing around and tried to connect this USB-C power bank, and it turns out it charges the laptop. Although I'm not quite sure how fast this thing would charge the laptop. The charger it comes with is extremely portable. It's a 65-watt charger that fits at the palm of your hands. The laptop gets power from its USB-C port. This means this is compatible with power delivery power banks. The USB-C port can double as a USB 3 data port. It also comes with a USB 3 port, which I'm glad they didn't remove, and gladly an HDMI port that lets you connect to an external projector or monitor. At the other side of the laptop, it comes with two USB 2 ports and an auxiliary port. And yes, unlike a MacBook, this thing still has an aux. For someone who loves to listen to music or edit a lot of videos, being able to connect some proper headphones without using a dongle is a huge must. For a really thin laptop, I was surprised that it sounded pretty good. It's not the best, but it sounds good. Here's a sample. For the audio, I have to rate it fairly average, but when it comes to the clarity, well, this thing really surprised me because first, this thing has down-firing speakers, and at the same time, this is a really thin laptop. Now, my expectations on thin laptops is that sound not so good. But for this one, well, the voice separation from the left and the right are surely good. As for the bass, you can still hear that punchy bass as long as you tune in to around 50% volume. But if you exceed more than 50% of its volume, the DSP of the laptop starts to kick in and try to reduce the bass. The laptop itself is loud. As long as you don't exceed 50% of the volume, you'll still hear those crunchy and punchy basses. For the actual measurements of the laptop, I have here a vernier caliper to measure the thickest parts. The bottom measures 11mm in thickness and the LCD measures 5.5mm in thickness. It's the thinnest you can go without sacrificing those USB ports. As for the trackpad, it's nice and big, and at the same time the texture matches its aluminum body. Multi-touch gestures and palm rejection also works well without glitches. The laptop also has a responsive chiclet keyboard with a very short travel distance. Not too mushy nor too stiff. Pretty good. Let's move on to the performance test. I'll start with the softwares I intend to use on this laptop for my day-to-day use. I love photography and I usually edit 24 megapixel raw pictures or JPEGs from my A7 III. As expected, Photoshop 2020 works really well without lag. Adobe Premiere and Sony Vegas works just fine. The laptop would struggle from time to time when editing 4K footages but can edit 1080p videos at ease. When I get home, I usually connect this to my ultra-wide monitor and run some engineering softwares like SolidWorks, AutoCAD, Multisim, Eagle, and Proteus. They all work really well and have no complaints about it. Is it good for gaming? While I have some gaming laptops around me, I wouldn't say this one is meant for gaming, but I was curious on how hard I can push this. I ran CSGO on the lowest settings and the game runs pretty smooth at 60 FPS. There is some hiccups that would appear from time to time, but it's not that often. Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt also works at the lowest settings. At this point, I realized that AMD's internal graphics are far better than Intel's. And hey, it's PUBG. As you all know it, this game is poorly optimized. To my surprise, it works at the lowest possible settings. FPS would play around 30 to 60. And for a classic game, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 works really smooth at max settings with the anti-aliasing turned off. At stock, the laptop comes with a 256GB SSD with a 1TB HDD. It loads games and softwares really fast and has tons of storage for your games and softwares. When watching videos from Netflix or just doing some browsing, it takes around 6 to 7 hours to drain the battery. For playing games and editing, the battery lasts around 4 to 5 hours. Overall, if you're looking for a laptop that's extremely light and portable for remote work, this is a model that I could recommend. If you liked the video, press the like and subscribe button. If you have any comments and suggestions, feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching.